Good evening, everyone. Firstly, I am so sorry we're late. This is completely my fault. My microphone wasn't working, and then the Twitch name just hasn't changed, and basically OBS has deleted half of my settings. No excuse. Should have checked it earlier on. I'm very sorry we're late, but we are here. So breathe. We're all good. Welcome everyone to round 2 of the NOBBL Roundup, where we go through these round fixtures from our fantastic league, and we see how everyone has got on, where the highs, the lows are, and all of that. I do have to apologise. I am solo parenting tonight, so if a child appears somewhere here, I apologise in advance, but we'll just have to roll with it. I am joined again by Mr. Jay Alsop and Alan Taylor. First question for both of you: any big surprises this round?
I feel like the group side I've seen were not too surprising on one side, but the other side was maybe a couple of bits that were a bit odd.
Yeah, I think from what I've seen, there's no sort of great shock horror surprises, but there were a few. All right. This has gone a little bit interesting. What we'll do, as the same as last week, we will fly through all of the matches that happened in round 2, and then we're going to do a little bit of review of the honours board at the end, which was a very good suggestion, just so we can see who's on top, particularly now we're a couple of matches in. That's going to be quite interesting. So now, are we ready for the tech to fail me a second time? Let's see. Oh, it's always going to fail. It's just one of those nights, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what we'll do is start off with greenies. So first match from the greenies was COVID-11 versus Posh Knobs. Now, as all of you know, I have the humor of a 6-year-old. I'm really trying to not just comment on the fact that they've called it Posh Knobs. And the fact here is, I'm going to try really hard. I'm really sorry. Just give me 2 secs.
I was actually sat next to this game when it was being played live, so it did seem like quite a well-spirited game. It was good to see George back in the league and smiling. You know, that's what I took away from sitting next door to it. Really good to see. And Alice is always having fun. Let's face it, when Alice gets to have get his hands dirty, he's always got a smile on his face. So it seemed quite well-natured from what I could see from the outside.
Right. Thank you very much for carrying on with that. My 9-year-old came through to ask me if he could use the exercise bike that's next to me. I was like, really? Now? Okay.
Maybe later.
Maybe
it's
later.
The best time. It's the best time for it.
It really is. It really is. Whilst I was looking through this one, I think you've probably summed it up right. I mean, we know what Alistair's like. He's always going to be very good-natured, even when he is getting bullied off the field by the looks of things. Badly hurt retainer, AV busted thrower, a dead blitzer who, I mean, let's face it, he's come back and he's a rotter now. So, death's overrated.
Or to die a second time.
Yeah, he can die again a second time. He did then pull back and kill one of the pestigals, but it's the unskilled pestigal. And then a strength busted lineman as well. So all in all, I think it's a bit of a rough match for the Knobs there. Obviously, he did pull out the draw, so the result is still there. It is not awful. It is really not awful for him. Let's have a quick look at the teams. And COVID-11 with George's team here. I really hope I don't end up playing this team in the playoffs at some point, because this is shaping up to look like a bit of a nasty team. You got 3-block, wrestle, fend, taunt. This Pestigore, please someone do something about this Pestigore. This is horrible. This is absolutely horrible. Yes, you're right, Terry. You have Alistair next. Yeah, you're giving up inducements. To be honest, both of you, I think the fact if both of you can come out of that match with something, it will be a good start for your seasons.
Yes.
It'll be a nice one for you. Yeah, the Knobs are pretty beaten up. Down a blitzer already. AV busted thrower. Is that a fire? Is that a retirement?
It depends, I think. It really depends. If they've got SVP, probably never, but
yeah,
I don't think that one has. So
once she can afford to replace him, he's definitely due for the block, isn't he? So,
it's the same as a lineman, isn't it? Armor 8 on lineman for.
Yeah.
So you just treat him as another lineman, just the fact that he can pass.
Yeah, exactly. And to be fair, he's only 5k off replacing him, so I wonder if next round we'll see a replacement in there.
I mean, you might buy another lineman. To be fair, he's not got a bench when his players come
that's
back.
True.
So.
That's true.
If I've got tears in my eyes, by the way, I've managed to somehow wipe this underneath my nose. So just bear with me.
How?
I don't know. But I'm tearing up now.
You crying at the beautiful sight of Alice's team being destroyed.
I might. Yeah. Anyway, continue.
You managed to glue one of your eyelids shut.
I must have got some on my thumb and I've gone like that, and it's just.
I'll give him the 5k for a 1 touchdown head start. I don't think that's how it works, Derry.
I'm pretty sure we know there are other ways to bribe him. Moving on, we have and we're now moving on to you, Terry. So Nortal Comrat, I hope I'm saying that right, against All Is Dust, a 2-0 win for the Tomb Kings. 6 cash. I think, we kind of saw that coming. That's a rough one for the Skaven. If those injuries start flowing up against Tomb Kings, there's not a huge amount the Rats are going to be able to do here.
Yeah.
That's a really, really tough one. And even as we look down here, turn 2 cash, turn 4 cash, turn 4 cash again. It just looked like it went downhill for Terry very, very quickly.
And even after getting the Kaz, he seems to be just stomping on him even more.
Yeah.
Just the fouls.
Exactly. And Chris just grinding him into the dirt. However, I mean, if it's a gutter runner on the floor.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah, exactly. His Tomb Guardian caught the ball.
That's the worst possible outcome.
Oh my God, Terry. Well, you've got Alistair next at least, so you'll have a fun match, whatever happens. You don't have any injuries though, so the Skaven are coming through actually unscathed. And he scored as well. That Tomb Guardian scoring, that's fantastic. With a Blodge gutter runner, yeah, decent. You know what? It's time to turn it around, Terry. I think the only way for you here is up. It really is.
I spoke to Terry shortly after the match because I had the first match to my right, and then Terry was behind me, so I seemed to be right in amongst it this week. And Terry was still smiling all the way through. All credit to him because he got a right stomping.
Yeah, it's rough. I've been there. My first season with NOBBL took the Rats, and just the first 3 matches, I just didn't have a team.
I was looking at Rats for the next season, and then I've just been put off them after playing against them and seeing other games going off around about me, not touching my Rats for a good long while.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. You've only 10 men. You only need 2 gutter runners, Terry. Gutter runners and a thrower, and you'll be fine. You will be fine. These Tomb Kings, though, again, coming out of it, there's no permanent cash. My block Mighty Blow tackle blitzer. Yeah, no one's going to want to face that. That is getting scary. And we know that Chris knows what he's doing. So that's going to be a very, very, very interesting matchup for whoever he faces next. And then moving on, Black Ark Ravens face the Chicago Bulls, and the Orcs came on top 1-0 with 1 Kaz each, 2 injuries each. So looks like a very, very close game on paper. Taking Fungus at the start, but then turn 4, Fungus badly hurt. I can only assume that Fungus triple skulled himself.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Sounds about right.
Or it was a both down result or something like that. But yeah.
It's the standard way for Fungus to go, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's going to do it to himself. There's no way around it. And then the turn 6, I think it is, score on the Orc Blitzer saw it through. So obviously the Orcs getting the win there, but then the Dark Elves coming out with a niggled Blitzer as well. It's not great for them. It's really not great for them. Josh, I mean, Josh, your team is shaping up nicely, and Elves are still going to be Elves. And the Blodge jump up assassin the dodge jump up assassin. Yeah, that's quite nice actually. For that jump up hit and run combo is going to be a bit of a pain to deal with. Niggled blitz is not nothing though, so you never know. Chicago Bulls. This is the first Orc team that we're going to be going through today that I'm actually looking at and thinking, you know what, that's pretty nice. Grab on the team captain, yeah, all right. Block, break, tackle, more break, tackle on this team, love it. And fend and frenzy, it's shaping up quite nicely. It really is.
They look really strong now.
Yeah, they do.
Especially with that team captain rule alongside humans, but they've got that bash to push it.
Yeah.
With armor 10, it makes it horrid.
It really does. It really does. Oh, and there you go. Starkey's agreeing with it. Orcs are horrid now. Yeah.
Exact word.
Yeah. No, they absolutely are. They're incredibly strong now. They really are. Team captain rule is bullshit. Okay. I can see it being changed. Oh, have we lost Alan?
Nope. He's disappeared.
He's disappeared. Let's see if he comes back in. We'll give him a minute.
Yeah, I think the team captain rule definitely has to change. I don't think it'll stay the same.
No, I don't think it will. I think it's going to be one of the ones that does get a tweak, let's say. What the tweak is, I'm not sure. So that's going to be quite interesting to see. Moving on, we have the Blackhide Bludgeoneers beating the Loony Lunatics 1-0. Now, in a Black Orc versus Goblin match, I'm guessing that Jasmine doesn't record her fouls on here. Because...
So I saw a game. I saw this game. I was playing against Starkey. Actually, I was testing for Neff. She doesn't seem to foul very often.
Really?
She's very fond of the secret weapons, which who isn't? But she didn't seem to be fouling very often, from what I could see.
Yeah.
Which, whether that's because of being nice or because just not wanting to, I'm not too sure.
Sometimes goblins have too many turnovers before you can get in a position to get into a foul.
Yeah,
that does happen.
I will say, I do think the bomber dropped the bomb on themselves 3 times.
Yep, that'll do it.
So,
that'll do.
Fantastic. Starkey says she didn't have a team to foul.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, fair enough. Well. If you just turn over, that's goblin life for you. Isn't
it? Yeah. She lost both the trolls as well, straight near enough.
Yeah,
quite quickly.
I think it's a tricky one. Bomber badly hurt, alignment out badly hurt. To be fair, there's no permanent. Lost both trolls first half. Oh,
that goblins just explode.
The double Black Hawk injury on turn 10 though, I did see that she threw a bomb. It was like a bit of a hero bomb, to be honest.
Oh, was it?
And knocked the ball down and took down 2 Black Hawks. It's pretty good.
Oh wow,
beautiful.
That is lovely stuff. You know
that's
what?
The benefit of playing goblins, because your whole world could be exploding, and then you pull off something like that, and it just takes it. It all is forgiven. That's what it's all about.
No, I think that's absolutely it, and it's the sort of thing. I think she can come out of that and saying, you know what, I lost, but that's a goblin victory because the bomb did this.
Yes.
But it isn't nothing. Troll and a Black Orc down for the Blorks next round. That's going to be tough.
I think they've got Tomb Kings as well.
Yeah. And a match where you're going to really need to have the muscle up front and you're down to the players. Suddenly you're looking at it, the Tomb Kings, and going, ooh, that's not great. So I think that is going to be a tough match for the Black Orcs.
Definitely be some inducements in that one, though.
Oh, there absolutely will be. Absolutely will be. Jasmine's, Goblins. There's no permanent injuries on here. Like saying a lot of KOs, which makes sense. And to be fair, lots of KOs, that'd be exactly why you're not fouling. But a nice smattering of SPP, but she's not going wild with it.
Well, she did actually have Brawler on the.
Good point.
Yeah, but it's no longer there now because it can't be used. So I believe the admins gave it back in SPP and obviously the money back as well.
Yes, that is exactly what happened. We had a big, long discussion about the GW rule set, about whether or not Brawler works with a ball and chain, to the point where Alistair actually checked directly with GW, and no, it can't be used with a ball and chain, which Thank you, GW, for that lovely, confusing wording. It's so incredibly helpful. So yes, she did get another. She was allowed to re-roll it and re-random it.
Nice to make another goblin weapon even more useless than they already are.
Yeah, exactly, because Goblin needed that. Doge, I learned that the other night as well, because I was there in the admin chat going, how is this not going to work? And then apparently, no, it doesn't work anymore, which is just very, very odd in my opinions. But there you go.
Yeah.
And Jay, you're continuing. And the thing is, now I've got nothing against you winning, but that's the fact that you've named your team after Manchester United players.
Yeah,
I can't
a
find
lot of people are
myself doing
saying
it.
that.
Yeah, there's something about it. As much as I want to see you do well, I want to see your team lose. I'm fine with you doing well.
Well, you'll see that I did actually have a death this game.
You did. Let's have a look through it.
Probably not the one United player that people would want dead, seeing as he's quite nice. But the other ones.
These that didn't mind him. So you did come out with a 2-0 win over the Old World Alliance, and obviously this was Will's last match for this season. Whether or not he's back next season, we will have to see. So the Old World Alliance is dropping out to be replaced by Carl's Corn team, who we may touch on later on. However, you started off by movement busting a Troll Slayer. Beautiful.
Yeah.
And then catch her out straight away after that. Howard.
It was quite a rough one. I think so. Will went to pick the ball up because I did manage to get it loose, but it landed in between my ogre and another player. I think it was one of my blitzers, so he couldn't dodge out, or he could, but it would have been very rough. And unfortunately, I believe he had a turnover just after that. So my ogre had a lovely little bit of a conversation with the catcher there and then.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's a rough one. Then your ogre's done exactly what it needs to do.
Yeah.
Do you want to do a little bit of an obituary to your player?
No. If you do actually have a look at the team, you'll see that his sons decided to sign. So.
Oh, so you've immediately stepped up to cover him.
We brought the youth academy in.
So is that Sunji Park then?
That's Sunji Park. That's correct.
Sunji Park. Yeah. Okay. Just checking.
But no, to be fair, your team's looking very, very nice. There was another solid win for you there. Obviously, not the same heights that you reached against Terry, who I think. Oh God, Terry, I really want you to have some luck in your next match. And Will, obviously, Will's not coming back. However. Massively on board with this human teams player, Chris.
Yeah.
No.
Thank you, Chris.
No. You know what to say just to annoy me, so please don't. The Old World Alliance were still struggling. I think he was struggling to get his season going, and a couple of unlucky matches.
Yeah, he did say after the game we had a bit of a conversation, and I think it was more from what Will said himself. He's just a bit fed up with some of the things in Blood Bowl itself, so I think he's just having a bit of a break, which is fair enough. We all get a bit annoyed about things at times.
Yeah,
so sometimes
absolutely.
Resetting is nice.
Absolutely. No, I completely agree, and there's no point. We have to remember, obviously, this means a lot to all of us, but at the end of the day, it's a game, and if you're not enjoying it, then there's no point playing it. Starkey, he still won't get 5 wings. Going to get a draw or loss in game 4. There you go. You aim to take him down. Chris, an Arsenal-themed team just wouldn't have enough notable players to fill.
I'm just going to have to drop out for 5 minutes, guys, because my laptop is going to die. So
no worries.
I shall return.
We'll see you when you start doing yours.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, no worries. Chris, we're going to have words later on. I can think of an entire team full of Arsenal players, but I'm just not going to go there. So that was the Greenies. Let's have a quick look at their standings. Jay, you're sitting nice and on top with 11 points after 2 matches. That's a very, very good start for you.
Yeah. I'm just hoping I can stick to it. I mean, I have an odd feeling when I meet one of those 2 bashy teams that are very close to me, or even the Orcs, I may have a bit of a bad time.
Yeah, the thing is, I mean, but you've already got a very good start, haven't you? So you've got the basis incredibly good, incredibly well. Chris and George just behind you on 9. Then the pack following up Alistair, and then the Black Orcs and Ben with the Orcs in there. You've got quite a close grouping in there in the middle, so it's still very much all to play for. And then Josh, Carl on 1 point, and Jasmine and Terry on none. Obviously, this is the group that's had 3 dropouts for various different reasons. Yeah, don't count as division win if previous winner has dropped. So yeah, this is an odd one because the feat we have for defeating the division winner is no longer in there.
Yeah.
So you've got a bit of a dud feat. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
There's not really much that could be done about it. So all good. Right, we'll move on to upper crust. Now, was this you or was this Terry?
This was mine.
Alan, sorry.
Yes. Yeah, I've got the upper crusts.
I'll hand over to you.
Well, yeah, I mean, it seems like they had a pretty eventful week as well, alongside the Greenies and such. First game we had was Wood Elves versus the Bretonians. It seems like the Wood Elves have a very they have a running theme here, which is that thrower is constantly throwing that ball, like every turn. I think he's got 11 completions already in 2 games. So he's got leader and dodge already. A lovely start for an elf. But the game itself was just it was a bit. It wasn't very bashy. But both teams kind of played a bit. Well, to be fair, the Bretonians seem to have played more elf than the elf themselves. They scored 3-1 against them, which, I mean, I don't believe Bretonians are known for their dodging skills or for their scoring skills overall. So the fact they've managed to score 3 against a team that have, like war dancers who can just jump inside of a cage and just overall annoy people, it's a very good result. I would say that's probably the biggest. I would have probably put that the other way around if I had to put my money on a game. I would have said 3-1 to the Wood Elves, but the Bretonians seem to have done a really good upset there. So fair play to them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, I mean, I've never played against this coach, but obviously we all know Chris Blunt, and we all know he's a very solid player. It would have been a fun match regardless. It would have been a real fun match, and at the end of the day, it's a dice game. But yeah, that's not the result I'd have predicted at all. So well done to the Bretonians.
Yes, very, very good game for them. But then moving on to the second game, we had Simon with his Vampires, who I don't know if it was last season he won gold or the season before. So very good coach. And then we had Dave Hutchins with his his Show No Mercy. Again, another good game and quite a bit more bash here, ending in a 2-2 draw. You can see though that there was quite a few fouls as well here and there. I feel like as well we probably need to have a word with Dave. Turn 16 fouling with a tree on the man, the nicest player in the league, perhaps.
Oh, I've missed that, Dave. Yeah, turn 16 fouling. He asked me to. Yeah, of course he did. Sure. somehow I don't. But the thing is, Dodge, if you're saying you admire that move, doesn't that tell you that it's not something that should be done?
But it was. But it looked like a very good game overall as well. Again, a couple of injuries here and there, which is nice. Cold Beck getting smacked again. I think most of the time I see him play, he seems to just get absolutely hammered. But an overall good game. Good game for the Vampires to get 2-0 win, even with the Gnomes trying to put their boots in their face.
Yes, absolutely. Thinking back, this was happening on the table next to me during my game. And, both coaches smiling away the entire time. Dave was definitely gunning to try and injure Colbeck. There was no he was gunning for that badge. I think I don't know if Dave just forgot there was a ball after a while or just gave up and was just trying to kill Colbeck. So why not?
I mean, yeah. Sometimes the ball just doesn't exist. Sometimes it's better to just stomp a couple of players.
Exactly. Now bear with me 2 secs because I think Alan's back for us, but not everyone else.
If you turn your phone sideways, Alan, it should fix it. Oh, brilliant.
So bear with me 2 seconds. If you want to keep talking, go for it. I'm just gonna.
I can do. Yeah, I mean, the next game we had was Tomb Kings and Necro. We had again another game where you'd expect quite a lot of bash. You'd expect a lot of Kaz here, but it was there wasn't overall that many. It's 3 apiece. Oh, sorry, it was 4 for the Necro, 3 for the Tomb Kings. Which there was a death on the Necro side as well, and I believe, if I remember correctly, it was a werewolf.
It is a werewolf, and it's quite early on as well.
And it hasn't regened, which is a pain. That's something you would have liked to kept in that game, I imagine. All the armor 10 big guys, you know, that's pretty tasty to have kept them. But the block wolf dying turn, I'm assuming very early. I can't see when it was because it wasn't, you know, it wasn't tracked.
No, it's first action though. First recorded action, so you presume quite early.
You could assume it's probably the earliest thing that happened. But overall, it doesn't look like a great game for what the Necros could have had. They seem to have just got smacked and smacked and smacked.
Yeah.
And they failed. It looks like, I think they've passed 1 regen, whereas the Tomb Kings seem to have passed. No, sorry, they failed all the regens. The Tomb Kings passed half of them.
That's a really rough one. Yeah, we all know if Necro fail their regen, they're suddenly an incredibly fragile team.
Yeah,
and they can implode very quickly.
At that point.
They can really start to hurt. But I mean, you know what? Not a bad result.
But that is after that game, those Tomb Kings are looking scary.
Let's have a quick.
They've got a good couple of skills.
Yeah, they are looking very good, and in the hands of Mitch as well.
A break tackle as well on 2 of them, so you can't really mark them down now.
No, they're going to be edge 2+ing away.
So that's pretty scary.
Yeah, that is very scary. Should we have a quick look at the Necro as well?
Their team looks very hurt. That werewolf's going to be a problem. The no block werewolf is
the no block werewolf. Yeah, the thing is, the rest of it is you look at that and you think, oh, it's not too bad, and then you remember that it's because one of the werewolves has died that it's no longer on the sheet.
Yeah, if that's how the sheet looked before the game, you'd be loving life. But I imagine, thankfully, that it was nothing important that died other than that.
Yeah.
Just that werewolf, not missing any more players for next game, just that one. Which again, it hurts, but it could have been a lot worse, especially in a game like that bashy.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I'm not sure what's going on with Terry's, but he's in and out. Let's just keep going.
You mean Alan's?
Alan, yes. So I'm so sorry. Got Terry on the brain.
We've got special guest Terry coming in, have we?
No. Oh, he was able to buy a new wolf. There we go.
Oh, okay.
That explains.
He's only got 1 wolf then.
Yeah.
Wow, that hurts more than thought previously.
It is.
Now the next game we had was Shambling Undead and Chorfs.
Terry, apparently you're on my brain. I'm sorry. I'm so glad that Alan currently can't hear me, so he has no idea that I've just got you, Terry.
Right, this one. Sorry, this one again. Another draw. Another 1-1 draw. Not too much in terms of scoring. Which, in fairness, 2 teams like that, Chaos Dwarves and Shambling, especially because the Chaos Dwarves, I don't believe have any centaurs. Yeah, they have no centaurs. So,
that's an interesting build.
No real. I mean, you've got obviously the hobgoblins that are ball carriers, but they've not really got any skills that help them with that. They're just still movement 6. They're not overall fast. So 2 teams that aren't really built to be running around and scoring within seconds. Like, they're not gutter runners, they're not skinks, they're not those type of players. So a 1-1 draw, I think, is what you probably have expected, or maybe a 2-1 win to one of them. But it seems that the Chorfs were able to get a star player. They had Rashnek, backstabber this game, who seemed to have got a Kaz, I'm assuming from a stab. Not too sure. But we don't see any of the injuries because I think the Shambling may have passed all of their regens. So I I think the Shambling coach probably needs to be checked for microwaving his dice. Same as Chris does with his necro dice.
So there you go, Rich. We're going to be checking your dice next time you come in. I do. What I do find interesting with this one, they've gone from weather being absolutely fine, changing weather to very sunny, and then sweltering heat.
Yeah,
So,
it sounds like it went from a nice sunny day, well, a regular day, to a bit too sunny, and then a couple of players were on the ground.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you say regen's on point, undead just can't hurt anything. To be fair, up against Chorfs, there's only really the hobgoblins you're going to be able to hurt. Let's face it, the Ironhard skin is always going to be there.
That's it. And if your players are getting taken off the pitch, which they were,
Clearly were.
not a lot you can do.
Exactly. Yeah, it is incredible that no centaur build. I'm really enjoying the craziness of it from Kai. Bullshit, my dice are shit at the moment. Not broke armor in our game. Starkey, are you okay?
He was, to be fair, when we played that NAF game I was saying earlier, he was saying how his dice have been shocking so far. And well, when we see his group later, we'll see.
Absolutely. Should we move on?
Yes. So the next game is the Blorks versus the Skaven. In terms of score, it's probably what you'd about expect. Skaven scoring 2 with the fast little gutter runners. It's pretty standard. The actual game itself, though, only 1 Kaz each, but a lot of fouls. Both teams, it started with the Blackhawks. The Goblins seemed to start fouling first, and then the Rats did not find joy in that, so they proceeded to foul.
And out-fouled the Blackhawks, which is quite impressive.
Yes. I think it also looks like what happened is the fouls may have happened the first couple of turns and just weren't tracked properly, so I believe they've just planted them all in that 5th turn, and then both went, let's stop fouling, that's enough.
I think we've had enough.
That's it. I believe one of them felt like they were changing into Andrew and one was changing into Alan. The 2 of them, that was it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's always going to be a rough match for Blackhawks,
Yes.
particularly early on in the season. Oh, you've got Lone Fowler on one of your linemen, yes, but that explains it. There you go.
I mean, you've got a sneaky git. Yeah, so the sneaky git one was doing it for the Blackhawks, and then he got sent off, so not very sneaky. And then the Clan Rat Lone Fouling. I mean, you can, what is it? You can re-roll it, I believe it is.
I think it is, yeah.
So even if you roll doubles, you gotta just re-roll it. It's always nice.
Yeah, it's a decent one. It's more of it gives the reason to foul as well.
Yes. So nice little bit of protection on that.
Yeah, that is very solid. Now let me just check, see if. Right, we do not have Alan.
Yeah, I think seems like he's having issues. I think his laptop's dead.
He definitely is. Do you want to have a quick look at the table for crusts?
Yeah, I can do. So by the looks of it so far, I mean, Mitch is doing well with his Tomb Kings. They're winning a draw. The fact that there's no double wins in that league as well. It seems like it's a very close one. But they're also very, I wouldn't say it probably is the word lacking. The top 3 teams, for example, of the Greenies, you've got Kaz is 8-2, 7-1, 10-3. Whereas upper crust, it's 6-5, 4-4, 5-3. There's not as many Kaz coming out, but there's more receiving on each team. It just looks like no matter what team is playing, just seems to get battered.
Yeah,
they're taking it in turns. That's the sharing SPP all around, and it's nice of them. But go ahead.
Exactly. No, but that's literally it. There's a lot of SPP. There's a lot of teams that are growing quite nicely in this group, but there's no one storming ahead yet with the actual points. So the group is still wide open.
Even for example, the Shambling and the Wood Elves who are at the bottom, all it would take is one good game, and then for Mitch to lose, and they would pass him.
They're right back up here again. Exactly.
So it's a very close league. It's one definitely to keep an eye on. I think that's going to be a fun one to watch just as it progresses.
Yeah, absolutely is.
But No, Simon, Mitch, and Ensfernum. Ensfernum, sorry. All three of them at the top doing very well.
Absolutely. Right, should we move on to Rocky's Horrors? Now, was that you or was that Alan? I can't remember.
That one is Alan. That and Drown Rats. The next two are Alan.
Right, I'm just going to wing this. Chris asking, is Brawling Brutes having much of an impact of team growth in NOBBL? Not sure yet, Chris.
I do think it is.
Oh.
I would say, so if you look at, obviously, again, the Greenies, for example, George with his Nurgle, 10 Kaz, that's an extra 10 SVP alone, because Nurgle now have the Brawling Brutes. You've got Orcs. I mean, Ben's only had two Kaz, but he's had one Kaz more than he has had touchdowns. So it's helped him a bit there. But you've got just overall Black Orcs and stuff seem to be getting skilled up quicker. I mean, obviously we haven't seen the next league yet, which is Rocky Horrors, but I believe that the Orcs have a lot of skills because they've had 8 Kaz. They've got a lot of skills from Brawling Brute seems to be coming up, and it's definitely helpful.
Absolutely, it is. Absolutely, it is. Right now, I'm just going to try put Sticking Alan back in here. Let's see if this works. If not, we will wing it with Rocky's Horrors. No worries. We can hear you, but I don't think chat can. Oh, give it a try now.
Hello. Hello, hello, hello.
Right, you're coming through for me. So go for it.
Right, where are we?
We are top
Just
of Rocky's
starting.
Horrors.
Rocky Horrors, right, lovely. Sorry about that. My laptop decided, even though it's been on charge all day, I've now found out that one of the children has used the same charger. So they ran off with it, and that's seemed to have caused some problems. Okay, Rocky Horrors.
Chat can hear you. You can't see him. You know what he looks like. It's all right.
It's fine. It's fine. Just imagine my face a bit prettier. So first match was Ashley with his Black Fang against the Lorette Tigers, which was Matt. Again, it looks like a really powerful team for Ash, who again is playing playing Orcs. Seems like he maybe ran away with this one a little bit. 20 SSP to 7 seems like a bit of a landslide. 3 casualties as well. So yeah, I believe the Bretonians actually are missing 3 positionals for the next game. Badly hurt catcher, a -1 Edge Grail Knight, and a casualty. A dead Squire. So yeah, 2 positionals and then a Squire as well. So a bit of a rough one for the Bretonians from what I can see, and another strong showing for Ash.
Yeah, just having a quick look at the teams. Ash is looking very good.
Mm-hmm.
This is looking like a very, very good Orc team. And I'm wondering there, Chris, your point about Brawling Brutes. Is this another one to back up your point, Jay?
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely
good. That growth is looking good. And then the Bretts, Edge busted Grail Knight is nasty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think if I recall correctly as well, I believe that Ash actually in the first game played against Imperial Nobility, he movement busted someone and strength busted. So now he only needs to armor bust someone. He's done all of them.
Oh, he's got the full house.
And passing and armor, and he's done it all.
Yeah. Well, it's sad to say there's not a feat for that, but I mean that's personal challenge.
Definitely. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be facing him next week. That's for sure.
Ooh. Absolutely.
So the next match up was the Garney's Gals, which is Amazons, against the Mordethai Minions, which was coached by Robbo and our Dark Elves. Looks like a pretty straightforward 3-0 win for the Dark Elves. Not much posted on Tour Play for this one. Hello, child. Injuries to the but casualties not really marked up either. Sorry, we have a child with us.
I'm sorry, it's just the fact that you have no camera. Just hearing that.
Yeah, I know you've got pictures of dragons. I know, I saw you do the melon. So yeah, it looks like a pretty much straightforward one for Coach Robbo here. Interesting that we've got injuries, but no casualties marked down. So God knows what's going on there. But yeah, 3-0 win. Didn't concede, so what's a 5-point victory for that one? So that's not a bad one at all. Just needed those casualties for max points. So straightforward, no nonsense from the Dark Elves. Amazon struggling.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting. Amazons were one. They're on my list to take for one of the leagues. But they seem to be really struggling. We don't have many Amazon teams, but they all seem to be struggling a little bit. They
Supposed to
seem
be
to
very
be just not
tough in
not
this
what
meta,
expected.
but they seem to be struggling from what I've seen.
Absolutely.
I think there's a lot of tackle now built into a lot of teams,
Yeah.
which there wasn't before.
Absolutely.
Yeah, tackles become more and more important, I think. So
Yeah.
So next up, we have the Boneyard Buccaneers against the original Pranksters. It's another gold winner here, Riffy D with his Skaven against Shambling Undead, coached by Clem, which was the Boneyard Buccaneers. Clem managed to get the win here, 2-1, so beating the previous champion. Again, Skaven taking a whipping. So interesting to see another Skaven team. Casualty-wise, seemed to get off a little bit lighter than the aforementioned Terry. But still took some hits. I believe there is a dead player in this one as well. So it's just a clan rat, so it could have been worse. But he has got a couple of badly hurt rat ogre, a missing its game thrower. So some armor 8 seems to be very, very vulnerable this year. And it, again, taking a pounding. Quite close on SSP, which I always think is a good guide on how the game went. But I think probably the Shambling Undead just had enough to get the second touchdown to take the 2-1 classic Blood Bowl 2-1 win.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think everyone's saying in chat that it is a bit of a surprise result. Dan's a very, very good coach. I think Clem's really pulled something out of the bag for that. So
Yeah.
well done. Well done. That is a big, big scalp.
Definitely, definitely. Again, just showing that Skaven are vulnerable this season. And as soon as they announced the changes, everybody said Skaven are dead, and I kind of laughed at that. But they do seem to be having a little bit of a hard run out. It just seems to be that armor 8. It's just somehow it's the same number, but somehow it seems worse this year. And I think that might be partly of the Amazon problem as well. Next up, we had Imperial Nobility and Chaos Dwarfs. So that was 2-1 win for Paul Bunt with the Magisterium Chaos Dwarfs against the Noble Enforcers, which was Chaz. Looking at this, fairly bloodless, no casualties, no deaths, no injuries. So yeah, it's nice Blood Bowl, the kind that we don't like to see. 2-1 win though. So again, there is a little bit of fouling, but that did result in a sending off. So that's probably stopped that straight away. But then pretty much 2-1 win for the Chaos Dwarfs. So interesting. I think Nobility is interesting in this play set as well. So a 2-1 win is definitely good for the Chaos Dwarfs.
Yeah, I think it is definitely a good result for Paul. And the only thing I can imagine is he was being far too polite and not letting his dice break armor. Is the only thing he was being too nice.
Too nice. Oh, a lot of shoving and not a lot of hitting, I think. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh God, the world has ended. Michael Dodge has got a win. 1-0 win against Pete. Pete,
should we just end the stream?
What have you done? What have you done? Do you realise we'll be hearing about this for the next 3 years? So yeah, let's have a look into it. So 3 casualties as well. So that looks like what's that? 3-point win, and he didn't concede either. So yeah, 5-point win for Michael Dodge. So that's probably better than he has done most seasons usually. We've had
equaled his best record yet.
Probably. And look what the difference is. He's fouling again. So suddenly he's gone back to his roots. He's gone back to what brought him to the dance in the first place. And he's fouling and he's winning. And he's probably cackling and smiling. So yeah, that's what it's all about. I've just noticed that one of his bloaters is called Alan's camera diseases. And I hope that isn't aimed at me, especially after tonight. Yeah, Deutsch is winning, which is scary. Let's see where Deutsch is in the division now, because it could be interesting. He's slap bang in the middle, number 5, 5 points. 5 points in some divisions would get you very, very high up. So doing well. Let's see where he goes next, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, we all joke a lot about Deutsch because it's so easy to do so, and it's just too fun. However, I think Nurgle does seem to be his team. So something seems to be working. However, I do feel sorry for you, Pete. You are never going to hear the end of this.
Nope, never. Absolutely. Shall we move on to the drowned rats unless anybody's got anything to say?
I mean, it's probably just again, I think that extra bash is going to help. I mean, Doige is randomed every skill by the looks of it. We'll see how that works for him. I think that'll be the brawler on a big guy already is pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that it does make a big difference with randoming this season. It's much stronger than it used to be.
Oh yeah.
And he's also saying in chat he actually put a cage. That's not pretty normal for him. So he's actually playing the game normally.
You know how to put a cage in, Doige?
He's probably talking about an actual physical cage that you.
Oh, that'll be it. Yeah. That'll make much more sense.
Yeah, definitely. He knows I love him, really. So on to the Drowned Rats. Biggest win I've seen this week, correct me if I'm wrong, leading off with a 4-0 win, which might be the biggest score we saw. Chris Gibbons with the Philadelphia Eagles, which is Elven Union, against the Unmentionables, the Norse team, which was Matt. Not very bloody match, but with 4 touchdowns, he just keeps scoring for fun, I guess. Looks like Blitzer got 2 touchdowns. The other Blitzer got 1, and then an elf catcher as well. So looking quite like a good result for the Elven Union, as if they needed more skills. So yeah, skill-wise, they're looking good for the next game as well. A couple of blodge, blitzers, kick, which is always useful. Dodge on a lineman. Sorry, my other child is now screaming in the background. And then we've got wrestle and fend on a couple of the guys down the bottom of the roster as well. So that's looking like quite a tasty team. Quite a few skills there.
Yeah, it is. I don't know, Chris, if you're in chat, I'd be really interested. What have you taken this season? There's something. Not only are you flying, but you're flying with what was supposed to be a dead team.
Yeah.
So whatever you're taking, please let us know, because this is.
It'd be nice to have.
Yeah, I'd be really curious.
I mean, that Elf Blitzer's 1 SPP off of an actual characteristic.
Mm-hmm.
Which we don't want to see.
No.
So whoever's got them next, make sure to kill that. That's enemy number 1.
Yes, please do. Please
Definitely.
do. But
Norse struggling, as they've been they're one of the teams that sort of got ignored on this new edition, similar to Lizards. So they've largely been ignored, and they seem to be kind of left behind a little bit, Norse. Which is a shame, because I really like the team. I like the aesthetic of it, but they seem to be another one that's struggling a little bit as people adjust to the new play styles.
Yeah. I think they definitely. I wonder if they're just struggling to find their place. Chris has made a good point that Blitzer is now. He's played 3 games because he played Chris Brown yesterday, I believe. They got their round 3 match in earlier. However, that Blitzer is still 1 SPP off a stat.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Still enemy number 1.
Absolutely.
So next up, we had another. There's too many Chris's. Can we start using the middle names, please? Because it's getting ridiculous. I don't know the differences between them all. Unladen Swallows, which is Chris against Rob's Mummy, Tomb King's Mummy Issues. 2-0 win for Rob. So it's a good win for Rob. With decent casualties looking like as well. So yeah, decent solid win. 16 SSP for Rob. So he's got to be pleased with that result. I can't remember how he did the week before, but again, that's a solid win against Bretonians, who are upper middle team, I think. But Tomb King's looking good. Bash is looking to be leading the way, I think. Rob now has 6 points from the first 2 games with a win and a loss, but looking decent, and should be quite an interesting team as it develops further as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a really interesting match. Obviously, this is the box set match.
Yeah.
The 2 teams straight out of the box set. He's got a lot of SPP on a thrower here. He's got 11 SPP on one of the Tomb King thrower.
Yeah. I think they tend to turn out to be the ball carriers, don't they, for Tomb Kings? I'm not sure where else you'd do it.
I don't think you want to move the ball as little as possible between players, don't you?
I mean, the thing is as well, you've also got the Tomb Guardians as well that don't have unsteady. I think a lot of people are really forgetting that they can carry the ball technically. They're not meant to be a fast team. They are just meant to walk up there.
Though, because if they're classed as big guys, then they automatically get unsteady.
I don't believe so. I think that's why they haven't got them at the minute.
They have got big guy. So yeah.
Have they? That's why then.
Not to crap on your point.
No, you got a good point. I completely forgot.
Sorry,
I think
I only have 2 children, but somehow there seems to be 3 asking me questions tonight. I think they might have multiplied, which is a rather scary thought. I thought one of the dogs can now talk, which might see me better off. So we have another Orc team against Necromantics. So we have Mertz's Zulu Boys against the Trashing Pumpkins. I still love that name, which was the Snake, and Necro ran away with this one. Did we not see an Orc Necro matchup earlier on? Was it not the similar matchup? And it went the other way, I think. The Orcs kind of ran over them. So it's interesting to see what difference a coach makes. No disregarding the other coaches, but we know that the Snake is an extremely accomplished coach. And with a good team, certainly what was considered to be a good team in the last edition, seems to have done really well with this. I mean, I'm looking at 3 casualties in a row with a werewolf, which is going to get you points, and it's going to make a big difference long term as well. So quite straightforward 2-0 win with 16 SSP. So how's the team looking after that game as well?
Let's have a quick look.
We got guard on a wraith, which is always good. I love the wraiths as a position. I think they're fantastic. Block on a werewolf, which you can't go wrong with. So yeah, team's looking decent. They're all decent skills. You got block, guard, block, and wrestle. So no slouch in there. Decent team. Quite high value, which might come into play later, depending on who they play against. But that's one of the things with Necro, isn't it? You've got very expensive pieces, and it does tend to add up over time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the thing is, we know how good a coach he is anyway. He's always going to be right up there, and that's just solid development for a Necro team. That's going to do very well. And then, to be fair, the Orcs, you're saying 3 cash and 3 turns. That team's still looking pretty good.
Yeah. A big difference whether you're missing next game or if your guys are just out. And I mean, I always say to my opponents, the best result I can roll is just to get them out for the rest of the game. I don't want to main players. I just want to get them off the pitch so I don't have to face them. Don't really mind if my next opponent does. I just want rid of them for that day. So it's good to see that the teams aren't getting completely brutalised and they can have something to fight for. I think losing 5-0 and losing all your players is very different to losing 5-0 and having everybody back the next week. So it makes a big difference, I think.
Absolutely.
I'm
just trying to load up the next match. Bear with me. So we've got Dean and yourself, Tom. So, Gnomes, what happened? 2-0 win to the Dark Elves. I mean, Gnomes are always going to struggle with that one. They're faster than you. They're bigger than you. They're kind of stronger than you. They've got more skills than you. So, what happened? Tell us about it.
I mean, as much as I want to say that Dean is a horrible, horrible person, and I'll never forgive him for beating me and beating up the beautiful NOBBL Gnomes, it was actually a very, very tight game in a lot of ways. Yeah. And then he just managed to elf it through. He just managed to elf it through in exactly the right times and exactly the right way. There are a few times where I pushed things maybe I shouldn't have done. I thought, oh, screw it, I'll just go for it. And of course, every time I tried that, I snaked. Because why would you not? Thank you very much, Nuffle. And Dean just took full advantage of it. It was swingy in parts. It was great fun. It's always a great competition playing against Dean. Looks like a gnome skill issue to me. Yeah, well, shush. For anyone who was watching it, the part that summed up the match perfectly for me is I was almost pulled it round to a 1-1 draw. But my fox had got just in front of the line. Dean managed to swamp me with just a couple of players with one had diving tackle. So all I need to do was make 4-2-2 with dodge and I was through. Passed off diving tackle, absolutely fine. Made the next one and then snaked the last dodge.
Yeah.
To make it the 1-0. And I think my response was fuck this game. So I think I just sort of blew up a little bit at that point. It was
the only one of the 3 of us that wasn't thinking that this week was probably Jay. So yeah, as we'll come to my shortly.
Exactly.
Hopefully I haven't missed that one when I was out and about.
However, Dean did then pull off a beautiful punt play to make up for it, which at the time I couldn't appreciate because I was too mad at my dice. But looking back, you know what? That was kind of a thing of beauty to get it right down. Yes, it was. I was next to you as you said that. Yeah, there you go.
I've not
It was
seen the
one.
punt yet, but I think it does definitely have legs. If you excuse the pun, I think there's definitely some play there for sure.
Absolutely. Foe teammate SPP. No, not in this match, Chris. No foe teammate SPP. It wasn't. I don't know. Just never really came into it.
Yeah. No worries. The last game that I'm covering today is the Karak Kings, which is Joe Birch against the Ghouls Gathered, which is Coach Dodge Ed, which is Shambling Undead. Dwarf versus Shambling Undead. We talked about this matchup type of thing being a very classic Blood Bowl. They're both teams that have been around for years, and it can be quite an interesting match. This one's a 1-1, so perhaps not the most interesting of matches, but it looks like I don't think either coach will go away upset, really. Lots of fouling for the zombies, which we love to see, because that's what else you're going to do with a zombie. And with a slow-moving team like Dwarfs, when they go down, you might as well jump on the Reds, because how else are you going to break that armour? Injury-wise, we've got a movement adjusted Dwarf lineman. I think he might be seeing the scrap pile shortly, because what you don't want is an even slower. We've also got a -1 Edge zombie, but who cares about that? He now has hatred of dwarfs, so if there's any other dwarfs in the league, that should be quite interesting, because
Don't we all?
Yes, exactly. I'm pretty sure I have hatred elf. I can't help it. I saw those at New Elves earlier on, and I just thought, I want to stand on them. They just something about it. Visceral response from me for these New Elves. I hate them so much, and I can't explain it. I just do. Anyway, off tangent. But yeah, that's what we're looking at standing wise for that division. We're looking with Chris Gibbons looking strong, 12 points. So he has 12 of 12 possible points, which means he's ahead of Jay, which is always good. He's not the greatest player in the world.
He has played an extra match, though.
He played 3 games.
Has played an extra match. Okay, well, I'll take it back. Jay's far, far better.
No.
According to Jay, he could have been playing in that Mansfield game yesterday. He almost made it. You knew I had to go there, didn't you? Other than that, the league's turning out quite as expected. We've got Rob up in 3rd, which is interesting. Gnome's hanging on there in 4th position, still all to play for. At the other end, we've got Norse are really struggling to get rolling, and the Dwarf team here is struggling as well. Orcs, Dwarf, and Norse in the bottom 3, which is interesting, because these are all classic teams that have, at one point or another, all been really cutting edge stuff. So it's interesting to see how the meta has shifted, shall we say.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be really, really interesting looking at these tables at the end of the season, and just seeing, because you look at a few of them and it does seem to have flipped on its head a little bit. This new edition is really, really interesting.
I'm going to mute myself shortly while I deal with this child, and I shall be listening in the background.
In a bit. So on to die bars.
Yeah, we had the first game of this one was a humans versus slightly posher humans. So you had imp nobility versus human. This one seemed very steady, in a way to put it. You had the humans and the richer humans didn't seem to really want to hurt one another. They seem to just be, having a bit of a tickle fight in the middle of the pitch. And then while they're doing that in the center, you had the catchers for the humans and the noble blitzers for the slightly richer ones, just running down the sides and scoring, I would assume. Both teams going 2-2, so it's a nice little draw for them. But I imagine there was a few knockouts here and there, so the tickles might have been a bit rougher than I think. But don't get to see them. Instead, it just looks a bit bloodless.
Yeah, you can only imagine that there was a field, benches full of KOs. That's what I'm imagining here.
Well, it's either that or the field was full of flowers. It's one of the two.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, so, they just go dancing through it together.
Possibly.
Or as the knob starts spattering money around instead.
Yes. That may have been how they scored too.
But you never know. But yeah, it's two all draws, decent results for both of them.
It's a nice little, and it's probably good for both of them. No one would really be upset with that result. Enough SPP for 2 players, but it could be one of them.
I have returned just in time for Jay to take the mickey out of me, so don't worry, I am here.
Well, moving on to the next game, we had Alan with his lizards.
Just in time.
And Ben with his Skaven. This game, it looked I mean, I had a quick check when Alan said he was playing his game. I did have a look halfway through. I believe I looked at about turn 10, and I saw that he got a Kaz with a Saurus, and it was a 1-1 game at that point in time.
Yeah.
It looked really promising. Skaven had scored turn 2, so they got it out of the way, scored as quick as possible. But then Alan was able to get one back. So I assume the Skaven started with the ball. I can't fully tell.
I kicked to him, yes.
Yes, so a nice start for Alan, really, for them to score early. That gives him the time to score back. He scores back, and then he kills a clan rat, which can't really complain. That's a nice little bit of SVP, and it's a player down. But it then seems to have all fell apart. So turn 13, he scores with his chameleon, makes it a 2-1 result. You'd be very happy with that result. You'd be laughing all the way to the bank. You'd love it. Then they've got a runner scored on turn 15, and from what I believe Alan said, there was a timeout in this game.
Yes, there was. The kickoff table was definitely against me.
Yes. Rolled a timeout. So the gut runners, being how they are, managed to get the ball again and score that third touchdown. I will not say that I would happily sit there and be happy about that result. I would be pretty angry as well. If the timeout happened to me and I suddenly conceded that, like, the final 2 turns, I would not be best pleased. So I can only imagine Alan's face as that seemed to happen in front of him.
Yeah, it was a tough old game. I mean, when I said that I talked to Terry after the match, I think we were both trying to decide whether we were going to jump off a bridge on the way home, to be honest. It was a tough old match, and everything didn't go the way it was supposed to be. Percentages were upside down. You're failing on go for it's, and you're re-rolling it, and you're still failing on go for it's. You're failing on dodges that should work when you've got dodge skill. I've never rolled more skulls in both downs in my entire life. It was just one of those games where just nothing could get going. But my opponent was the same. Nothing against him. I've got no ill will towards him. He played well. He played the team very, very well. But neither of us could get rolling, and it felt like one of those really annoying bitty games where just nothing works. You come up with these great plans and you fail the first action, and it's a turnover. And it was one of those games. Found it to be very, very frustrating, and I really disliked the team for about a week and a half afterwards. I've got some decent skill ups moving into the next week, and I've bought my Crocs. So I'm interested to see how the season goes from here, but I'm really disappointed with the Lizards so far. They worked really well online. On the online games, they're great, and the last edition, they're fantastic. I mean, I haven't played much tabletop, but in the old edition, they're fantastic. They're so good. But on tabletop in this edition, they just really kind of lackluster, and I've just really struggled with them. But it's I'm not the coach with the best win record, so it may be a me problem rather than a them problem.
I don't think it is. So Chris is in the chat, he's played Lizards for longer than I've played Blood Bowl. Even he's saying they're tough in 3rd edition.
Yeah, I looked at Lizards again. I thought maybe I'll go with the team that when I first started playing, they were the team I really liked. Looking at them compared to everyone else, it really felt like they haven't had any love at all. They got Juggernaut, which is useful once a turn. It's once a turn. It doesn't work.
I played 3 full games with them, 4 if you count the friendly that we played, Jay. And I've had the opportunity to use Juggernaut once in 4 games. And it's not like I'm not hitting things with my Saurus. So it's just a complete non-event. It's just they're too expensive. You know, if you look at tournament builds for them, they're just far too expensive to get a decent team going. I mean, I'm only now feeling like my team's got any purpose and is nearly 1.3. So it's really interesting to see what happens after this next game. But I'm going to be giving up inducements for the rest of the season. And quite frankly, if that's what I need to do, that's what I need to do.
I think a lot of rules are going to change. I would assume a lot of things will probably change. I think Brawl and Brutes will be added to them. I would have a guess on that.
I'd love that. I think that'd be a big difference.
But no, a good result for Ben. Not so great for Alan, as we heard.
Yeah.
On to the next game, which is this one really surprised me. I will say, Elven Union with Matt, and it's not going to happen with Andy. I really would not expect the Snotlings to come out of this 2-0. It's a game that you look at and you think it's Snotlings. Sure, they have been buffed. They've got a couple of bits here and there. They still have the inducements. They're by no means the worst team ever. They are still quite strong with those 4 big guys essentially. But to outscore Elves, who only had 4 injuries, when Elves are going to Elf, is quite a strange one. Because the people who scored were just quite basically just regular Snotlings. I mean, there were still 2 runners that scored. I believe it was the same one. It was both of them were Larry, but it's really one of those. I guess it could also be knockouts and stuff for Matt because you can't see those again. But
Yeah.
Elven Union are, I mean, it's Elves, isn't it? You expect at least 1 or 2 can do the job, but with 4 big guys, I can just imagine the Snotlings have ran through that team, and the Elves unfortunately got back up.
To give you an idea, I've got a photo on here, my phone that Andy sent to me at 20:39. So we're talking 20 to 9. So I don't know how long the game had been going at that point. But from what I can see, there is about 5 in the KO box, along with 4 injuries. So I believe he took Fungus. From what I'm aware, he also took 3 prayers to Nuffle. The prayers to Nuffle resulted in him being able to put guard on a pump wagon temporarily, which is awesome. Ooh. He was able to get a free biased ref, and then trapdoors were active for the whole game as well. So he was lucky with his rolls.
2 best ones.
It made a big difference to the game. He's a player that's really comfortable with the Snotlings, really fit his style, and when they get rolling, all stunty teams wants to get rolling. If you get the dice, then that's it. It's a landslide. So I also know that Fungus made it right through to turn 15 before he was sent off, I believe. So having that, chasing people around the pitch all day, it made a massive difference from what I'm aware.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think it's interesting taking the 3 press Nuffle, knowing what he got now. Because Jesper's in the chat saying, do you folks feel like the prayers to Nuffle are doing anything so far? I've not seen them do anything. Yeah, apparently they did.
I think
to answer the question.
It really is. Sorry, go ahead.
It's a dice roll, so it can go either way. But if you're rolling the dice more, the more prayers you're rolling, the more chance you're going to get a better result. So it's one of those. They can be very powerful. I've seen them come to nothing, and I've seen them make a massive impact as well. So it's an interesting one.
It adds. I mean, for a dice game that's already very heavily implemented with luck, it adds so much more to it. Because I mean, Terry's saying in chat how both of his games, his opponent got Mighty Blow. I don't believe I rolled on the Nuffle table against him, but I don't remember it entirely. So it's one of those where I feel, well, I agree with what you're saying in chat, that they should either be limited or perhaps maybe even more expensive, because they can be useless. The trapdoor is never exactly the best thing ever, but
no,
like getting Mighty Blow or Guard or even getting Stab on a player against a team that's maybe full of Dodge or Armor 7, like it's still really, really good at times.
Yeah.
So
I think making them more expensive would work. Just straight off the
instead of 10k, maybe 20k each, or even 25.
Yeah, I think that's the balance.
So it's a good thing to look at. But I'm sure the admin will look after that for us.
Of course. Yeah. They care so much for us, so they will.
No comment. What I do find most interesting here, and it's obviously star players just do get the regen. Fungus died.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah.
So Matt, you may have lost it. However, you killed Fungus. So well done. That's a win in our eyes.
Indeed.
Yeah, that's a good result. Good little bit. But again, it's quite a shock for Snotlings to even have won without conceding. That's the main shock to me. The fact they haven't conceded one. 2-1, I would have said, yeah, fair enough. But 2-0, that's 5 points for Andy from one game. That was really well played from him, I imagine. And again, sounds like a bit of luck came into it. So well played. Absolutely. The next game we had is another Orc team. I know, shock horror. They're here everywhere. They are picked in every league. And for quite a good reason. Again, the Orcs are just somewhat strong. They're able to put up a fight against most bashy teams and also can score quite a decent amount. But this game didn't really have either of it. It was a 1-1 draw. It's a lot of high armor here. I mean, you've got the armor 10 bloaters with disturbing presence and foul appearance. So you can't, sometimes you're not even hitting them when you want to. And then I believe they've got 2 block as well. So they're quite strong anyway. And the big ones for the Orcs, I believe, have blocks. So it's just two teams that have strong pieces, strong armor. Pieces aren't coming off the pitch. There's probably been a couple of knockouts there, but that's all I would really say that mattered. But a 1-1 is definitely a result that both of them will be happy with. I imagine it was different on the actual table itself, but I wouldn't complain. But other than maybe the edge down Orc lineman, but you don't really pick it up with Orc lineman anyway.
Yeah, I don't think that's really going to hurt them long term at all. Another Orc one coming in quite strong, and we have Purple Chest in the chat. Hello, loves Orcs. The new Orc roster is super fun, but it really struggles versus 4 strength 4 team. Yeah, I think you're right. When arguably now NOBBL can do what Orcs do better.
Yeah,
they can almost bash better than Orcs can now, arguably.
Yeah,
but you know, one or draw. I don't actually know who came out better in that one.
I mean, Alec had no casualties or no injuries, sorry. So I would say probably Alec.
Yeah. Let's go with that.
But no, then the final game we had Shambling Undead, which was Chris Starkey, and Minor Inconvenience, which was Dwarves, which was Steve Cross. To say how this went, if I recall correctly, the first game Steve Cross had he had Andy and he got 9 Kaz. This game he got none, and neither did Chris. This game looked like both their dices had. Well, it seems like someone had just taken their microwave dice away from them for once. Didn't let them play with them, and both teams got very unlucky. Not a single Kaz for either team, but Chris scoring 1 more than Steve did and getting the win from it. Chris is saying in chat nothing happened at all, so I'm assuming there wasn't even any knockouts, which kind of begs to differ. All you lot in Dime Bars probably need to step up a bit. A couple more Kaz. I mean, you made up for it with week 1, but week 2 seems to be a bit of a. You're all having a bit of a tickle fight more than anything. I mean, definitely need a bit more blood for Blood Bowl, I would say.
Yeah.
Other than Andy, who's constant with about 3 or 4.
Well, I think that's it. But looking through this, we've got top match no cash, 1 in the second, 5 in the third, then 1 and none.
Yeah, 2 games with 0 Kaz.
Yeah. However, no, Starkey, you are right. You did finally beat Steve. So in that moment, who's going to care about the cash?
I'm sure he'll put up a little trophy on his shelf. Exactly. Finally beat Steve Cross.
Absolutely. Should take a quick look at their standings, then we'll jump onto the reserves.
Yes. I believe we have, I think if I recall correctly, the Skaven, I'm sorry, the Necro. No, it is Skaven. I'm wrong. Sorry. Skaven. Ben is at the top, which got runners, they're always going to score. Nice. It's good to see him up there. However, he's had no Kaz so far. He's just been smashed about. And I feel a bit bad for him.
He does have a gutter runner that's very close to getting a stat up. So
yes, 1 SPP.
That. Yes, that could be very, very dangerous.
Yeah, same with Steve Cross. He's got a Dwarf Blitzer that's 1 SPP away from a stat up as well. So them 2 players need to be killed by next week. There has to be no excuse for that. They have to die. Or stat bust them so that when they stat bust, then they go up on the stat, they get it back. But Snotlin's in 3rd. Snotlin's with the 4 big guys now, seemingly not the worst team like they were before. And the swarming obviously as well helps a lot. So a lot of players and a lot of big guys is always a nice little combo. Then you've got the Orcs, Humans, Elven Union, and Shambling in the middle. The 2 team captain teams in the middle. Whether it's a team captain not working for them or whether it's just it's not gone right for them in certain ways, we don't know. And then Nurgle, Lizards, and Imp Knob at the bottom. We heard from Alan, he doesn't believe Lizards are doing too great in general. And Alec and Richard, I imagine just a couple of unlucky games. Again, Alec has had 4 Kaz, none against him. So in terms of Kaz, he's fine. But by the looks of it, he can't seem to hold the ball, which is always a tough one.
Absolutely. I'm just having a look. Starkey's saying check his team.
Let's have a look.
Do apologise for all the background noise tonight, but
don't worry about it. You're all good.
My tablet without a camera as well, so it's all going really well.
Oh, that's what you mean. I thought, Starkey, I thought you were saying it like there was a problem. I'm looking at that being like, no, that's really good. I don't know what you mean. Mighty blow, block, and sneaky get. Yeah, I'll take that. That is shaping up quite nicely.
The perfect Starkey team, that.
Absolutely.
Nice little bit of bash and then a good little bit of a fowler to have.
Absolutely, it is. Right, we'll move on to the Reserves League. Starting off with a 2-0 win for the Baltimore Ravens over 8-field slaughter. 2 out of 2 for Clem this round. He's continuing in a run of very good form, and there's an early cash here, getting rid of a Beastman on turn 1. It seems to have just set up the game, really. You look through it, and although there's not a huge amount, there aren't many more injuries until looking at turn 11, but that extra player just seems to have come through here. And then you've got 2 Beastmen also being sent off. Probably seals it off with him running in for the second touchdown on turn 11. The Necro looking very good here. They've now got a nice smattering of block, 2 Blodge Ghouls and a Block Wolf. And, that Golem's looking nice. That's only a couple of SPP off. The same with the Wraith. You know what? That team's shaping up quite nicely, so he's going to be one to watch in the reserves.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Matt's chosen, coming out without any permanent injuries. So you know what? You take that. You take that. And with 3 blocks here, randoms as well. Random block, which is, you know what? Well done. They are shaping up well despite the loss, so I think they're still going to be up there come the end of the season. But another good result for Clem. I think whoever is coaching him seems to be doing their job well, and I'm not going to give you any credit for doing so, Starkey, even though I know you're going to take it. And next one down, the Pirates. Josh, I love this name. Whizgit's Throwable Goblin Biscuits. I'm going to go with that. I love that name so much. A 1-0 win for the Skaven. Now, it's a surprisingly quiet match on tour play. So again, I'm guessing that either the Prayers to Nuffle did make a difference and limited the fouls, or the fouls just weren't being recorded. One of the two. The Rats score early on turn 3 and then keep the Goblins out for the rest of it. And you know what? 1 catch for the Goblins, none for the Rats. Applause for the Goblins team name. Yeah, it is good. It's just really hard to pronounce. Skaven looking very nice. Sprint gutter already.
Yeah, 1 turn touchdowns. That will be a nice little thing.
Yeah.
It's one push out. In fact, no, they can score straight away from the line, can't they now?
Yeah, they no.
With sprint, I believe.
No, still need one push with sprint.
One push.
However, if you were to also add hit and run in there with the stab,
true,
then you potentially could, which is a bit disgusting.
With leap as well. Ugh.
Yeah, that's very nice. That's very nice. Goblins as well. I mean, I love this troll. A bullseye strong arm troll.
He's got one job and he's clearly doing it well.
He's doing it expertly, absolutely expertly. And then looking at the randoms on the pogo as well, sidestep and sure feet. Woo!
Yeah.
2 randoms and exactly what you want. Yeah, that's very nice. I'll tell you what, that Goblin team is looking really good here. It is still Goblins though, so it could still explode. Who knows?
All it takes is a couple of dice.
That's it, exactly. Next down, we have the Mousselon Manbiters winning 2-1 over the Fumble-Fated Frostbiters. Oh, sorry, my cat's now getting involved. Can you go away, Mrs.? Thank you very much. So, Gaz, 18 SPP here for the Vamps, which is nice, but it's come out of it without any permanent injuries, which is, you know what? That's exactly what you want from a Vamps match from them. We have touchdown on turn 5 of the first half after taking out the Norse before then did take out a Vampire Blitzer, only badly hurt. and the runner taking out a Norse Raider in return. Then the Norse pull one back turn 12, and the Vamps seeing it out on turn 16. So a very, very solid win there for the Vamps.
Yeah, I mean, there's a Dodge Leap Pro Vampire runner there. That's not going to be a fun one to play against.
No,
I can imagine.
exactly. Well, this thing, Dodge Leap Pro, he only needs block now, and he's complete.
And you've got a strip ball Vampire Blitzer, 2+ edge. That's best of luck to you all in the reserves.
Oh yes, good luck there. The one thing I do find interesting with this team is there's only 2 rerolls, but they're making it work. Gaz is making it work.
I mean, it's one of those you don't have to bite your players. As much as it's definitely recommended at times, you don't have to.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Whatever he's doing is working. And let's have a quick look at Simon's team with the Norse. So obviously he took a couple of cashes there, but they're only linemen. So yeah, it's not too bad. So you just bring in a couple of journeymen and you're all good again for next team. A block on the Valk Ulf and a tackle Berserker is very nice. Sorry, the cat is being right. So annoying.
And you've got a block Ulf Venner as well, which is strength 4 with block, never go wrong. It's kind of just what you'd always want.
Exactly. So even with those injuries, yeah, I'd still take that Norse team.
Yeah.
Still very happily take that Norse team. Moving on, we have the Top Knots winning 2-0 over the Sandy Skulls in Orcs versus Tomb Kings. 2 of the teams we're seeing a lot at the moment. Now, again, not a huge amount on tour play, but I'm imagining with these 2 slower teams, it's going to be more tactical.
Yeah.
We're looking 1-1 on cash, and what it looks like but on here is the Orcs scoring on turn 7 and then managing to turn the Tomb Kings over as well to take the win. So it looks like a very tactical match to be probably quite an interesting one to watch. The Orcs, we've got another Orc team looking very strong.
Yeah, it looks like it was probably a tough game for the Tomb Kings to even get their bash going, because they've the Orcs had that big one blocker that had garden block already before that game. So although they're like strength 4, again, you've got a big guy that can deal with it. The bigger blocker next to him on his left and Troll on his right, it's not a good game to play against, I imagine.
No, it's not. You've got 2 teams that are going to play in a very, very similar way.
Yes.
And by the looks of things, the Orcs just had the better skills to start off with.
It does look like the Tomb Kings are very they haven't had a lot. They've not got a lot of SPP. It's kind of spread all over the place. They just need a couple of more, and they will definitely, I imagine, start to push forward a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the one mighty blow is maybe holding them back a little bit. But like you say, there's quite a few players that have got starts here. So one good match, and suddenly this team could be flying.
That's it.
So it's a good win, good solid win for Carl and Paige. We'll move on. But no. They'll skill up next game. If they got you next game, then Starkey, I'm guessing. So, but yeah, no real development there for Paige, but it's not going to take her long to get there. I really don't think it is.
Yeah.
And then we move on to the other Vamps in there. We have the Necromancers losing 1-0 to the Auckland Raiders. Adge versus Bash here is a really interesting match. It's one that I wish I'd seen. It looks like the first half was chaotic. The Orcs took Fungus as well. And sending off on Orc lineman on turn 1. Now I'm imagining that's a foul. But that has just gone really badly wrong.
Yeah.
But you know what? Maybe it was worth a try. Maybe there's a vamp on the floor, and you absolutely have to go for that. So you never know. But then runner badly hurting themselves on turn 3, presuming from a failed dodge. MNG Blitzer, MNG Orc Blitzer, MNG Vamp Blitzer, Niggle on a Thrall, and then a turn 11 touchdown for the Orcs. Badly, Fungus finally goes down. MNG on the Vamp Thrower. It seems to be a lot. They're trading it here, back and forth.
Yeah,
with
I mean,
injuries.
It's what you'd expect. Both teams have decent strength. both teams are decent armor, but all it takes is the dice to flow, and that's it.
Yeah,
And it
yeah,
looks like it was.
Exactly. And if it does turn into a bash fest, ultimately the Orcs are probably going to come out on top, and they do.
Yeah.
Now, Liv, your team for next round.
It's a blitzer and a thrower. That is.
Yeah.
It's not worst case. Worst case could have been losing the 2 runners, but
yeah,
it's definitely not great.
Exactly. And depending on who she's up against, she could end up with the inducement monies, which is, as Vamps, you know what, that could help quite a lot. But playing with only 3, with a thrower and 2 runners, you know what, it's still not awful. They are still vampires after all.
Yeah.
But that could be a tricky match. The Auckland Raiders are down a blitzer, which is no small thing because it's one of their only 2 block pieces at the moment.
And it's the team captain, but I do believe the team captain rule states if your team captain is not available before the game, it can be moved on to the other blitzer. If I recall correctly, I might be wrong on that.
I believe so.
Unless
it has to be an injury removal. I think you're right.
I think they can't do it in the game, but after the game, it is a thing.
Still there.
Yeah. So
I suppose it makes sense, almost like they're on the sidelines, still cheering them on.
I think it says here, a team captain is a team captain's on the pitch again, the thing, but it's also a case of can only be fired if they have suffered an injury that's reduced one of the characteristics. Oh, it does. I could be wrong. They may not be able to field a team captain next game, which could definitely put a big dampener on them.
Well, I don't know if it can be transferred. We'll catch up on that later on rather than get bogged down in it now.
Yes.
But that'll be an interesting one. Just shows how much we've all clearly read the rule book cover to cover. Now, Starkey, the Sanctuary Mossbacks in a 1-1 draw against the Boulder Boulders. Did you have a team left? What happened here? 10 injuries on the nose.
So many fouls.
So many fouls. There is just so much going on here. It's it's a lot. The Goblins taking Terry the Turtle and Papa Frenzy, which is 2 of the unique mercs you do not see. Dave saying non-transferable. Yep. That's what I did think, but I didn't want to say for definite.
I read it as death. That's why I thought injury and death. May as well be the same thing.
Yeah, as good as. They're 2 of our lesser used star mercenaries, so going to be quite interesting how they do that. Starkey had 1 fox left, failed rush for a touchdown, turn 16. Oh no. Oh gnomes. This looks like a bit of a pounding, I'll be honest. You've got gnome injured, gnome injured, gnome injured, bomber sent off. Tree managing to catch Terry the Turtle. That's not a bad thing. Getting a couple back. And then Tree MNG to a Goblin lineman.
Yeah.
Ouch. That is interesting. And then a dead Beastmaster as well. That is... Honestly, by the looks of things, the fact you managed to hold this to 1-1 is quite impressive. You have managed to replace the Beastmaster quite well. It was a foul. Lovely. Down a multiple block tree for next match is that could be really, really interesting, and it hasn't dropped your TV that much either. There was no skill Beastmaster. We were all good then. So he's just been replaced straight away. Goblins coming in. Nothing. Absolutely fine. With a bit of SPP on a couple of them, but they're keeping their TV down nicely. I really like how that team's shaping up.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good for Goblins, especially if I'm an innovator on that chainsaw. If everything goes right for them.
Absolutely, absolutely. And for our final match of this round, you have Amazon Goddesses against seriously outmatched. I don't know why I found that so hard to say. With a 2-0 win for the Bretonians over Zons. Now these Bretonians getting their first win of the season and a +3 on cash as well. which looks really good. And it's been a continued rough start for Heather. It's been her first 2 matches in the league, and so far they've not gone her way. If we look at the log, it looks like they both took 3 prayers to nothing. That's really interesting.
It looks like quite a short game as well.
Yeah.
Both players only had, on the turn counter at the top, only an hour for the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
So
only went up to sort of the end of the first half, which was interesting. But I mean, losing badly hurt on 2 cages for the Amazons on turn 1 and another one on turn 2. I don't think you really come back from that, do you? You're going to really struggle to have anything come from there at all. And a movement bust on an Eagle Warrior.
Yeah.
Let's have a quick look at Heather's team. And to be fair, it's not looking that bad. They're only down 1 line woman for the next match, so it isn't awful. And you know what? 7 SPP on this Jaguar Warrior. You could take a nice one there if you wanted it.
Yeah, doesn't look too bad.
No, we're looking all right. The Bretts go in full strength with a nice smattering of skills, and I think this is definitely where we may see Matt start to find his feet and go from there. We've got steady footing, stand firm, Grail Knight. That's just a beautiful image, isn't it? What a regal sight that would be. There's something about that just fits.
As long as it rolls at 6 and works, it's going to be a great time.
Exactly. It's never going anywhere and not falling down.
Yeah.
That is beautiful.
I always like to see a nice mighty blow bit as well. Everyone likes to see the extra bit of bash.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a quick look at the standings, and then we'll move on to the honours board. Clem sitting at the top, closely followed by Jack and the Pirates, and then we've got the Vamps and 2 Orc teams following up. So Clem is at the top, but people are still very much within catching distance of him. Followed by the Chosen, Bretts, Goblins, Norse, all 5 and 4. And then we've got Starkey, Paige, we've got Liv and Heather, and 2, 2, 1 and 0. But like we say, I mean, we're only 2 rounds in. So none of these people are out of it yet.
But it's nice to see the 2 Orc teams holding hands in 4th and 5th.
Exactly. They're just keeping each other company.
Until they inevitably kill each other.
Exactly. That's it. Until they face each other and kill each other.
I'm expecting 11 dead on each side. The final one being a failed rush.
That into the end zone as well.
Yeah.
That will absolutely be it. So that is it. Before we move on to the honours board, any final thoughts on this round?
Not overall. I mean, there was a couple of games that were probably a bit surprising, I would say. I mean, you've got the one in my group, George and Alistair. A 0-0 draw doesn't seem super likely with how Blood Bowl is nowadays, with the new rules and stuff. Every way, to pick up the ball, it's a lot easier. And stuff like that. But other than that, I would say most games seemed fairly standard. The Snotlings not conceding to Elves, like I said, that shocked me quite a bit. Alan, unfortunately, having a timeout against him in the worst possible time.
That was bad.
And Chris scoring 4 with Elven units, which we know Elves score a lot, but against Norse, you'd kind of expected you'd have hoped Norse would get a couple of kills there or a couple of hits. So just a couple of games that probably look a bit different than they should have done. I mean, the Bretts and the Wood Elves again in Upper Crusts. A 3-1 win for the Bretonnians against Wood Elves. It's just never really something you'd think would happen. Mm-hmm. It's rare, and it's nice to see.
Yeah, exactly. We like those shock results.
I think my take is so far from the new edition, and whether you guys agree with me, the games seem to be a little bit quicker, a little bit snappier, whether that's because there's more turnover, so the turns are taking less time. But everybody's game seems to be getting finished a little bit earlier rather than those days where we used to stay past closing time in Sanctuary. There seems to be a lot of quicker, snappier games, which can only be a good thing. The other thing I've noticed is we're 2 weeks in and we've got a lot of players that are starting to skill up really, really quickly, really, really well. So I'm wondering if the SSP seems to be slightly more readily available than previous editions, which again, neither of those things isn't necessarily a bad thing. So I think looking at the new edition as a whole, I'll be interested to see how that goes, and if you guys agree with me on that.
I mean, yeah. Go ahead. You can go ahead, Tom.
To be fair, I was going to say exactly the same. It does. I think it's going to be very interesting. We look at just what is going to be brewed up by the end of this season. Normally, round 2, you're thinking, what, 3, 4, 5 players with a couple of skills?
Yeah.
Pretty much every team's got them.
I definitely think the Brawling Brutes rule it's pushed a lot of teams forward that you wouldn't normally see with as many skills. I mean,
Yeah.
George with his Nurgle team is the best example I can give straight away. He's got a Pestigore with 3 skills. The random skills as well, being that you can choose between 2, gives even more reason to have random skills, so you're not spending as much SPP.
Yeah.
So
I think it is massive.
It's definitely I think bruiser teams, brawling teams, which is probably coming into tide with the whole games going quicker. I think teams that are built to kill or built to bash are going to be doing a lot better compared to teams that edge. So you'll see the edge teams win the first game, first 2, first 3. I think after that, the bash teams are then going to start taking over, and I think we're slowly going to start seeing that.
Yeah. Even on my team, I've got the season's not going the way I wanted, but already I have a Mighty Blow Frenzy-saurus, which is just going to get more SSP as it goes on. So there's already little stars popping up on most teams, and it's really good to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, I was just thinking that when I was having a look at yours earlier on. A Frenzy, Mighty Blow, Juggernaut, Saurus.
Yep.
Look at that last season. That's a finished Saurus.
Yeah.
That's definitely designated Blitzer now.
Yeah. So it should be very interesting to see. So that I like these little stars pop up, and you get these little stories about them, and they have the life of their own. And I think that's the best thing about this game system compared to something like, say, 40k or AOS, where you've just got out of the box. They've already got a name. You don't have much storyline for them, whereas these guys are developing as they go along, and it's got that whole RPG element, which is why I love Blood Bowl, and smaller skirmish games like Necromunda and stuff have that too. And I think that's massive. It keeps my interest going.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's why, I mean, for me, League is the best way to play the game. It absolutely is, because you can brew them up. Doige, you've made the point, don't have as many people who are completely clueless. Now, as much as I want to make a joke here and say that yes, we do, we're all in fact idiots. No, I actually do agree with you. We've got a lot of very experienced coaches. We do have some new coaches that have come through. No, you are the clueless one. You're absolutely right. Yes, you are. But we do have quite a few new coaches coming through, but I think we're now so established as a league that it's just flowing nicely as well. Let's have a quick look at the honours board. Now, I'm not going to go into the player and coach side of things unless people are desperate for me to. Most famed, so we can look at this and think, who's done the best with the dice at the end of the match? Ash on 6, and then we've got Chris, Simon, and the Trashing Pumpkins all on 5. Jay only on 4. Most experienced. God, Jay 49 SPP in 2 matches.
I've gotten a bit lucky, I feel.
A bit, Jesus.
Just a tad.
The thing is,
I think season 5, where I had my elves that were dying every game. I think Nuffles looked at me and gone, "We'll throw him a bone.
Yeah,
we'll help him a little bit here."
Yeah, so. I think so. Well, I think then Chris is only just behind you. He's got 2 SPP less. Yes, he's played the extra match, but that's still very, very, very close. And Ash up there again with 43. Most versatile, as I'm sure you won't be surprised, is your humans again, followed by Ash. With 31, then 27. And again, the Snotlings pushing up there, I'm presuming, with the number of fouls. Yes. You assume it's it. Top scorer, as I'm sure none of us will be shocked here. Chris on 8. Yes, as we said a few times, he does have the game ahead. However, 8 touchdowns in 3 matches is very, very good.
Still very good.
Still very good. And you're just behind him on 7. And then we've got Ben, Chris, and Ash 5, 4, and 4 afterwards. Best defense. 5 people all on 0, and I've got a feeling that's not all of them as well. So you've got yourself, Jay, Chris, Ash, the Trashing Pumpkins again, and George. So
They
we
just keep cropping up, don't they? It's the same name.
It's the same names popping up each time. And I think this is what's going to be what's very interesting. You're saying about the team development and using George's team as an example. 10 casualties in 2 games.
Yeah, it's just, again, it's another extra 10 SPP. I mean, the most experienced kind of showed it as well, where you had me as my humans, who, again, I've gotten very lucky. My start has been absolutely phenomenal. I got 5 against Terry, which was, again, lucky, because some of the dice just went my way, the charges I rolled. But then you've got Elven Union, who, again, have played that extra game, so they're very close. But Orcs, Dwarves, and Nurgle, I think beforehand, if you had rolled back to last rule set, you wouldn't have seen them 3 up there. Although they've won their games very convincingly, that SPP difference, I think, has added to that.
I think it has. And I think you'd kind of expect to see Orc, Dwarves, Nurgle probably towards the top of the most beast.
Yes.
But they are starting to pull away with it. They really are starting to pull away from it. Most injured, as I'm sure no one will be shocked, the Snotlings on 11. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
That sounds about right. And then Terry. That just kind of sums up your season so far. Skaven and Underworld both on 9, then Goblins and Elves. Most killer. George, Paul Blunt, and Matt Baker all on 2. You horrible, horrible people.
Especially the elves.
Especially the elves. How dare you?
Playing elves and you get 2 kills.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Absolutely disgraceful behaviour. Most dirty play. Black Orcs on 13. Well done. That's exactly how Black Orcs are supposed to be played, so good job. Snots on 12, then 11, and then myself and Starkey following up on 7.
Yeah.
Most sent off, we've got Ed, Shambling Undead on 3, and then Orcs, Norse, Skaven, Tomb Kings following there. So not a lot sent off.
It's quite funny. Ben is the only team from the dirty play and the sent off list.
Yeah.
It looks like Ed probably did try to join the dirty play list and then realized that every single time he fouls, it gets sent off, so he stopped.
Yes.
So.
I think so. I'll be curious to see how many Ed's actually done overall.
Yeah.
And now most completions.
Quite a gap.
There is quite a gap. Chris, what throw are you building? 12 SPP on a Wood Elf thrower already. Lovely. Best run. Now, obviously, Chris has got the 3rd match ahead, but we've got Chris, Jay, another Chris, and Paul, Bunt, and Ash all on the 3/2. And then obviously, I think there's a few more in there as well. Now, worst run. Sorry, Terry. Even though quite a few of you got 2, you've somehow still got the worst run. I don't even know how that's worked out, but that's brilliant. Then followed by Jasmine, Matt's Brett's, Pete's Underworld, and Chaz's Nobility and Secret Objectives. And we'll have a quick look at the Reserves League as well. Most famed at the top, we have the Pirates, followed by Bonesmore Ravens, Top Knots, Mooselon Manbiters, and Eightfold Slaughter. And then most experienced, we have all the Vamps and the Chosen all on 35 SPP. So very, very good start for them.
Yeah.
And you can start to see that in their teams. Most versatile, the Goblins. Again, presuming the fouls will be pushing them up there. Top scorers, Bonesmore Ravens, Pirates, and the Vamps all on 5. That's very solid.
Nice little even spread.
Yeah, very, very solid. Only two teams so far have gone nil on conceded touchdowns. We have Bonesmore Ravens, Clem again, and Joe's Auckland Raiders both on nil. Obviously, there aren't as many players in the Reserves League as the main league. But the fact that only 2 have in there, I think you've got some entertaining gap matches there. It's looking pretty good. Most Beast, Goblins on 10. Sorry. We have Goblins on 10, closely followed by the Chaos Chosen. Yeah, you can see how the Goblins are playing. I like that.
I think after that game against Chris, that's definitely
yeah.
Yeah.
I think didn't 9 of them come from 1 match?
Yes. So
which is a little bit ridiculous. And there we go, most injured. 17. 17 casualties taken in 2 matches. Jesus. Oh, that is impressive. Most killer, we've got the Bretts, Black Orcs, Skaven Goblins, and Nobility all on 1. So no one really pulling ahead there. Most dirty play, Black Orcs. Well done again. Goblins, chosen Necro Goblins again. Now, most sent off. 8 sending offs in 2 matches. I feel like I need to really look into how. Is that just literally fouling every turn? Because that is
also secret weapons. You got to remember them as well.
That is very true. That is very true. So if we presume they've got a few,
we've got a Bomber, Looney, and the Fanatic. That's 3 a game at least.
Yeah, so to be fair, that's 3 a game. That's 3 a game. As it is. Most completions, we have 2 vampire teams at the top, both with 6. Yeah, that sounds about right. Those throwers are absolutely fantastic. And best run, we have Clem, Gaz, and Jack all on 2. So 2 of you are going to be facing off against each other next round. That's going to be very interesting. Worst run, so far we have Liv and Heather both on 2 losses, and then a few on 1 as well. So I'm not going to go into the player and coach side of things. However, if you would like me to later on, let me know. It just will mean a longer stream. Thank you very much, Jay. Thank you very much, Alan.
No problem.
It has been a pleasure as always. We will be back in 3 weeks' time for the roundup from round 3. Those matches are already up. They should all now be on Facebook. It's all up on Tour Play, so go arrange them. The first match night is due to be next Tuesday. If you have any issues over things like the stalling rules and things like that, make sure you shout up, because I believe there has been a few things on Tour Play which there have been some different ways of recording it, so just make sure that we are all on the same page. I'm not saying I would be able to help you. Make sure you bother Dave. Not me. I don't know how Tour Play works. Don't ask me. But if you need to, go and speak to Dave and make sure we're doing it all there. If you want any other Blood Bowl content, obviously there is quite a lot that goes on Blood Bowl Live. You will see there's been quite a lot of tabletop being recorded on there and streamed on there at the moment, with the ADBBL season is well up and running in Suffolk. Obviously, we don't have it in NOBBL, but we do. There are regular tabletop streams there, and we've got the podcast weekly. Thank you very, very much, Jay. Thank you very much, Alan. And we will see you in a few weeks' time.
See ya.
Bye.